Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we are tackling something pretty profound, embarking on a deep inner excavation based on the insights from the book A Journey Within by Soulpath. If you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by the sheer nonstop noise of the modern world, or if you've caught yourself wondering if there's actually more to your existence than just the daily grind, well, you are in exactly the right place. Because this explainer isn't about looking outward for answers. It's about peeling back the layers to discover who we truly, fundamentally are.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Who are you, really? Now, our default assumption is usually to point to our physical body, right? Or our name, our job title, or maybe that rushing stream of thoughts in our head. We constantly say things like, I am anxious, or I am exhausted. But what if that entirely misses the mark? What if you aren't your physical body, and you definitely aren't those rushing thoughts either?
To figure this all out, here's our roadmap for the journey. We'll start with awakening, soul, and body, then move into mind, ego, and consciousness. Next is God and non-duality, followed by Maya, the grand illusion. Then we'll cover the path and its obstacles, and finally wrap up with awakening in daily life.
All right, part 1, awakening, soul, and body. Let's peel back these first layers of self-discovery.
You know, spiritual awakening is so often portrayed as this dramatic, magical event, lightning bolts, instant bliss, the whole shebang. But the source material makes it clear that it's actually much simpler than that. Awakening is simply recognizing that you are the witness of your experiences, not the experiences themselves. The ancient Upanishads capture this so beautifully. The soul is light, and that light is you. Just let the profound weight of that sink in for a second. The body is born, it changes, and yeah, eventually it fades. But this inner light, this pure soul, the Atma, doesn't die. It doesn't age. It is the eternal observer.
And Chapter 2 gives us this absolutely brilliant metaphor to visualize this. Imagine the soul as the vast, infinite sky. Your thoughts, your emotions, your physical pain or joy, these are just clouds passing through. Sometimes those clouds are super dark and stormy. Other times they're light and fluffy. They might temporarily block the sun, but the sky itself? The sky literally never changes. It is entirely untouched by the weather it contains. You are the sky, not the clouds.
Chapter 3 gives us another incredibly practical way to look at this. Think about it. If you drop your phone, you say, "My phone broke." You inherently know you are not the phone. It's just a tool you use, right? Now apply that exact same logic to yourself. You say, "My body is tired," or "My hand hurts." Let me ask you this. If you say, "My body," who is the "my"? The very language we use proves that the observer is entirely detached from the physical form. Your body is just a brilliant tool you're currently using.
Moving on to Part 2, Mind, Ego, and Consciousness. This is where the inner noise meets the silent witness.
Let's break down the mental structures that trap our true identity. Chapter 4 outlines 3 active layers doing this. First is the mind, that constant, non-stop stream of thoughts we all deal with. Second is the intellect, our power of decision, judgment, and discrimination. And third is the ego. This is the most cunning layer, creating the total illusion of I and mine. It's the ego that falsely claims ownership over your successes, your failures, and your stories. But here's the kicker. You can observe your mind thinking, you can observe your intellect judging, and you can even observe your ego being defensive. Therefore, you cannot be any of them.
So, who exactly is doing the observing? Well, Chapter 5 calls this consciousness, and it uses the absolute best analogy, a lamp placed in a room. The lamp illuminates everything, the furniture, the dust in the air, the people. In the same way, consciousness illuminates your thoughts, your senses, and your decisions. But here is the real magic. Even if you empty the room entirely, like even if every single thought stops in deep sleep or deep meditation, the light of the lamp still remains. Consciousness doesn't need borrowed light. It is the light.
Okay, Part 3, God and non-duality, getting into the Advaita perspective.
Now we are ready for the ultimate philosophical heavy lifting of this whole explainer. The crucial point here is understanding Advaita. It literally translates to not two, or non-duality. It's the profound realization that the creator and the creation are not separate entities. The observer and the observed are the exact same consciousness. There isn't you down here, struggling, and a distant creator way up there. That separation, it's entirely an illusion.
Which brings us to one of the most powerful, mind-bending truths from the ancient texts. Tat vam asi, thou art that. God, or the ultimate reality, whatever you want to call it, is not some distant figure sitting on a cloud outside of you. It is the very consciousness, the very lamp, shining inside of you right now.
Chapter 6 visualizes this idea beautifully. Picture an infinite ocean. On the surface, there are millions of waves. Some are huge and crashing, some are just gentle ripples. If you only look at the surface, a wave looks like a totally individual, separate thing. You, me, the trees, the stars, we all look like different waves. But underneath, we are all made of the exact same water. We are all the exact same ocean of consciousness.
So let's talk about part 4, Maya, the grand illusion, the veil over reality. Now, you might be wondering, if we are all one giant ocean of consciousness, why does the world feel so incredibly divided and stressful? Chapter 7 explores this through a perfect metaphor. Imagine you're walking in the dark and you see a coiled shape on the ground. Your heart races, you start sweating, you feel absolute terror because you think it's a deadly snake. The experience of fear is 100% real to your body. But when you shine a flashlight on it, you realize it's just a piece of rope. Maya is that darkness. It makes the unreal seem terrifyingly real to our minds.
Maya essentially uses 3 very specific tools to turn simple experiences into these binding illusions. First is name. We label things and get completely trapped in those false identities. Second is form. We get intensely attached to how things look on the surface, entirely ignoring the truth underneath. And third is meaning. We constantly project our own arbitrary judgments, oh, this is good, no, this is bad, onto completely neutral events.
All right, part 5, the path and obstacles. Time to navigate the journey inward.
Because let's be entirely honest here, this isn't easy. The source material outlines some very real, very common struggles that prevent us from doing this self-inquiry. We are constantly fighting endless mental noise. We're battling constant cravings, that nagging feeling that we always need more. We face deep-seated fears of losing our identity. Our ego constantly interferes, whispering that we already know everything. And crucially today, we face modern digital distractions. Constant notifications, social media, the endless comparison, it all actively pulls our consciousness outward, away from that silent witness within. This journey, it requires immense patience.
But Chapter 10 throws us a real lifeline here. Spiritual awakening isn't built on abandoning your life and moving to a cave in the Himalayas. It's built on small, highly consistent daily habits. In the morning, try just 1 or 2 minutes of absolute silence before you even look at your phone. Midday, take a quick 5 minutes just to be aware of your breath, anchoring you right back to the present moment. And in the evening, do a brief reflection on your day, noticing where you reacted from your ego and where you reacted from pure awareness.
Finally, part 6, awakening in daily life. Let's talk about actually living this truth. The ultimate shift we're talking about here isn't about levitating or having magical supernatural visions. The true test of awakening, as the source heavily emphasizes, is not found in deep meditation with your eyes closed. It's found in how you handle a ridiculously stressful email. It's in how you navigate a heated argument with your partner. Awakening is moving from knee-jerk reaction and struggle into a state of profound acceptance, a deep inner silence known as Maun, and pure presence. You stop fighting reality. Instead, you simply observe it and act from a place of crystal clarity rather than fear. Which leaves us with this final thought. You've seen that you are the sky, not the clouds. You are the deep ocean, not the surface waves. So if you are truly not your thoughts, and you are not your temporary physical form, what will you choose to observe today? The very next time you feel a surge of anger or a massive wave of anxiety, see if you can take just one step back, become that silent witness, and just watch it pass. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep observing, keep learning, and we'll see you next time.